And we're back. Welcome to the Stat Junkies podcast. It's me, the Stat Guru, here with the one and only Big Mike.
What's up, everybody?
Man, it feels good to be back. Doing this thing. We took what? Not last week, but the week before off.
Yeah, we did.
Feeling a little bit under the weather, but I think we're getting back going. Things are getting going. I want to start off by saying thank you for all the support we are getting on YouTube.
Appreciate you.
I do see the views going up there, and all I gotta say is keep recommending your friends to go follow us on the YouTube page, Stat Junkies, where the podcast will continue to be posted. Appreciate all the support, and just stick with us. We got big things coming.
Yep, I'll say we had some technical issues with the Apple and Spotify, so that's why it's not up yet. So if anybody was looking, that's why. But we got those all worked out. So this episode and the last episode should be on Apple and Spotify. So just be on the lookout for that as well. Still under the name Stat Junkies. As always, appreciate the support.
I want to go ahead and start off real quick. There was a nice little boxing card that happened last week that me and the big homie watched. That if most of y'all didn't watch it, because I know boxing is a hit or miss sport right now.
I was busy. My son had baseball practice, so that's where I was at.
Well, let's be honest. It fell off. It fell off from what it used to be.
It did.
We don't got to sit here and try to sugarcoat it. It definitely fell off from where it used to be. But as we've been saying on the podcast, it is slowly getting back up to the level it needs to be. And I want to say shout out to the Turkish Excellency for taking over boxing. They put together this phenomenal fight card. Nothing but champions fought on the fight card. You had Bivol and Beterbiev, Parker and Velasco, which that was a fill-in fight. But the fight I wanted to see was Shakur Stevenson. He finally fought, got him on the card. And just all in all, I'm just trying to bring light back to boxing because everybody stopped watching it. It fell off a little bit.
Fell off hard.
A lot.
Hard.
Nobody wanted to pay the expensive prices for the pay-per-views anymore, which I get it. Mm-mm. But this one was only $30. And they're working at showing it at earlier times, so that way it doesn't interfere with the UFC pay-per-views, doesn't interfere with the Saturday night football games for college football and things like that. Because I think this one started at 10:30.
That's smart. That's better. That's what WWE does. I was like, Kane and I are back in the WWE because all 7-year-old boys go through the WWE phase.
I mean, as they should.
Yep. So I'm back into it too, just watching it with them. And that's what they do. They watch all of their PLEs now is what it's called, not pay-per-views. They do them all at different times. Like, they'll have some on Saturday, some on Sunday. It just depends on, what's going on. That's unfortunate. It all just depends on what's going on. So that's great that boxing's doing that. I'm glad that they're trying to get it back to what it once was, because boxing was the premier sport the premier combat sport for a long time.
Yes, and they did their best to make the biggest fights. You had your Ali, Frazier's, and all. The list goes on and on. Yeah, but nowadays you don't really have it. And that's why I want to say
everybody ducking.
Once again, shout out to the Turkish Excellency for taking over with that, because he is trying to bring back the big mega fights. His biggest goal is getting the undefeated boxers like Canelo, and he's trying to get the Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight, which would be
that would be huge. I would even tune into that one. That would be huge.
He's offering crazy amount of money and making the pay-per-views cheaper, so that way more people can access them, making them cheaper.
$30. I would pay $30. I have no problem. The last fight I actually paid for was the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and that was horrible.
Bro, and
I said I'll never pay for that.
They wanted something like 60, 80, 90. Now some of them, that's still not every boxer is under they call it the Riyadh season. Mm-hmm. Not all of them are underneath of that yet. So the Tank Davis is gonna fight this weekend. That one's $79.99.
I mean, of course, it's not all the way brought over yet, so I understand that.
But it is getting there, and also it starts so early because they do fight in Saudi Arabia.
Well, right, yeah.
So it benefits everybody. So you were a boxing fan and you kind of fell off because it got boring, you know, no mega fights, everybody ducking, now is the time to get back in it. It's cheaper and all the bigger fights are starting to happen. You're starting to get the big names to fight the big names. So this is the time being. I think all combat sports, to be honest, are taking off. Because I hear a lot of people telling us we need to talk more about the UFC.
Yeah.
My thing is those pay-per-views the prelims start early in the morning, and by the time.
No, not most of them. It depends on where they fight. Like, if they're in the Americas.
Like, no, I'm talking about the free fights, and then the pay-per-view starts late at night.
No, they start, like, middle of the day. So, like, they'll be, like, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll start the prelims.
There's just so many fights on one, and it happens everywhere. Like, I think there's a pay-per-view every week, I feel like.
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't paying for it. So,
well, yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll go, like, if somebody wants, I'll go to B-Dubs, get some wings, drink a couple beers, and watch it, but I ain't paying for it.
No, that shit's expensive, and that's why, shout out to them making it cheaper, and shout out to WWE, too, because
WWE is free. All their PLEs, if you got Peacock now, you can watch it for free.
And shout out, that's what I think boxing is trying to, they saw how WWE took off, because I know it was big when I was growing up, and now I feel it's at the biggest stage.
Well, it's on Netflix now.
You know, Netflix and everything else. So I think that's what boxing saw. Like, hey, let's make it a little bit more cheaper. Everybody seemed to like that idea for WWE. So let's go ahead and try it. And I'm interested to see where it takes off.
Yeah. I'm gonna tune into. I'll tune into a couple. I'm not a huge boxing fan, so I don't pay attention to it as much.
It's a hit or miss sport. You gotta either love it or you hate it. There's no like I kind of like it. You're watching the big name fights or you're watching all the fights.
Facts. I will say though that Undisputed game, dope as hell.
It is.
I don't play it as much as I used to, but it's still dope as hell.
It is. But
so shout out to them for bringing back a boxing game, because Fight Night was must.
They need to bring back Fight Night and quit playing games.
I mean, I think they are, but that's a side topic. We'll talk about that later.
But before we go ahead and dive into baseball, I do want to, for y'all who are in tune and aren't in tune, November 1st, 2025, we get Michael Vick versus Deshaun Jackson as coaches. Michael Vick will be the Norfolk head coach, and the Deshaun Jackson is Delaware State's head coach. Shout out to the HBCUs
for hiring black coaches that have a name so they can come back and like make them bigger, because now no one else is paying attention to this game based off just schools. Now they're going to tune in because of Michael Vick, because of Deshaun Jackson. Jackson State is a prime example. Look how big they got because Deion Sanders was the coach. It's great to see. This is how you, plus they have money so they can help put into the schools. Not that they should, but that's a different topic. But they're putting a spotlight on these HBCUs, and I'm here for it. I say the HBCUs deserve more respect. A lot of great players have come out of them. A lot of wonderful talent. They need to be more respected, and I'm glad that they're getting the spotlight now.
Round of applause.
That was loud.
I know, that was louder than I expected.
Yeah, right. That hit me right in my eardrum. But
I'm sorry that was loud for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down a little bit. But round of applause to the HBCUs, hiring black coaches and former NFL players too. I'm here for it. Brings more excitement to it, because for me, it's not always for college. I'm not all the time watching for just the players, because sometimes I don't even know the players. But you give me I've tuned into some Alabama games just because Nick Saban. I'm not going to lie. I tuned into some Colorado games just because of Deion Sanders this year.
That's the only reason anybody tuned into Colorado.
You give me a big name coach, I'm probably going to tune into some UNC games this year just to see what Bill Belichick does down there.
Yeah, I'll watch him. I want to see what he does too.
But now I'm going to go ahead and let Big Mike take over, because we're going to go ahead and dive into some baseball real quick.
All right. So as you know, baseball is kind of my thing. Shout out to, I'm wearing my former coaching shirt today just because laziness, I'll be honest. It was the only thing that was clean. So shout out to everyone, the girls over there at LeBray High School who I used to coach, getting ready for their season. Hope you all the best. So, we're in spring training right now. There's not much really going on. Just to give you some stats, going on from there. Like today we got Braves and Nationals are playing right now, going 2-0. Red Sox won 6-5. Rays and Tigers. This is how you know it's unserious. The Rays and Tigers tied.
That shouldn't even be close.
I was like, the Rays and Tigers tied. They said, we're good. Just go ahead. But like I said, it's spring training. It's preseason for baseball. Nothing's really going on.
We're just into what the big names.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna touch into a couple big things. Juan Soto, playing for the Mets now. He's already making a huge impact, and I'll be honest with you. I think he might put the Mets over the hump. I think the Mets have a real good chance of making a deep run.
You think that's a missing piece?
I think so. I'll be honest with you. I think so.
I mean, I can't argue it. He is a very important piece to any team.
Yeah, I'll say he's only had 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. So, nothing crazy. But it's spring training. He's not playing. But you can see that he's already there. Like, the form is there. Another big one, which I'll let Marcus talk about over here because that's his dude, is Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman is playing third base for the Boston Red Sox now.
My man came in hot right off the bat, home run first game. I am loving what I'm seeing from there, and I have a suggestion for you, Mike. So we're talking about where they would put Alex, and I was reading Boston has a weak second baseman.
Yeah.
Alex has played. If many who don't know, Alex has played multiple positions throughout his MLB career.
Yes, shortstop, second, third, outfield.
Why not just put him at second? He just won Gold Glove last year.
So they were going to do that. That was the point. That's what they were going to do. But then he came into training camp and looked so bad at second. So then they said, all right, move him back to third. And that's where the whole thing with him and Devers got into.
Well, I think they need to whip him in shape and go ahead and work him at second, because you put him at second, Devers at third base, we're looking pretty solid in there.
You got to get both bats in there. I mean, both of them swing a very hot bat. You got to get them in there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to have to work that out. Boston did the right thing, too. They went and worked on some pitching. They've signed Nick Pivetta, which is a huge pickup for them. I don't think he's pitched yet, so I don't think there's many stats going on.
I'm excited for Boston this year. I really am. I'm not saying this is a championship year by any means, but I'm definitely saying this. I'm seeing this being a 10 times better year than what it's been the past couple years since Big Papi David Ortiz left.
Oh, no doubt. I think it's going to be a huge year. So if you had to pick right now, let's do some preseason picks. Who are you picking in the World Series this year? Just based off what we know today.
You know what? I'm gonna do something crazy here. The Dodgers went and loaded up that roster, right?
Yeah, they rebuilt. I mean, not rebuilt. They just reloaded.
I'm gonna say it cracks under pressure.
You think it cracks?
I think somehow, some way, it just doesn't come to. I'm not saying they make a bunch of errors. They just don't show up that day.
Okay. They
don't show up. We've seen it happen before. The team that's supposed to win it just completely not show up. 3-0 Yankees, Boston.
That's the thing with baseball too. It's like that's what makes baseball so interesting to me. Is because typically, like basketball and football, you can tell.
Yeah.
Of course, you have upsets in the March Madness tournament. That's why we love the March Madness tournament. But for the most part, in a 7-game series, you know who's going to win. Like, you know that if Ohio State was to play Bowling Green in a 7-game series, they may get lucky and get one, but Ohio State is going to win the series overall. So that's what makes it exciting to me. I think any person could just pop in. Any team could pop in, go off. The pitching is super hot. The bats will come off super hot. And the other team just goes cold. And not necessarily the best team always wins in baseball. And that's what makes it so exciting to me. While he's gone, I'm going to talk about who I think is going to be in the World Series. So I think it's going to come down into the National League. I think it's going to be the Mets and Dodgers. That's just my pick. I think with them picking up Juan Soto, it puts them over the hump. which is just a rematch of what it was last year. And I think the Mets do it this year. I'll be honest with you. I think the Mets get over the hump. They beat the Dodgers, play in the World Series. In the ALCS.
You feel me?
In the ALCS, I think it is going to be the Guardians. I'm maybe being a little biased here, but I think we have the pitching. I think...
Hey, y'all stand a chance. I will say that.
I think we have the pitching, and I think we do need to go get a bat. So I'm hoping at the trade deadline they make a move to go get a bat. But I think the Guardians, and then... I hate to say it, but I think the Yankees are going to be right back in there.
Well, you can't not count on the Yankees. They're loaded up, but then add the addition of Garrett is a great addition to what they already had at pitching. They were missing. They needed another pitcher, as Kai was telling us last
they
pod.
hadn't picked up Louis Gill to fill that hole.
So you feel me? They added weapons. So and the Guardians added weapons too. I wouldn't hate to see that.
Luis Ortiz,
but
pitching.
I'm gonna say it because I just haven't seen anything different yet. I'm gonna give it to the Yankees just because.
Yep.
I see the Cleveland choking.
Also, I want to give a shout out to a dark horse team. Then we'll move on. I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to surprise a lot of people. I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to surprise a lot of people. They went and got a manager with Terry Francona, who was the Guardians manager before he retired. He's back. And I think they have so many young pieces in the farm system. They have a third baseman coming up, Cam Collier, and they already have Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLean, Spencer Steer, like all kinds of young guys. So I'm thinking the Cincinnati Reds are going to surprise a lot of people too. That's my dark horse team for the year.
I can see that. And now, before we move on from baseball, how do you feel, because they implemented it last year in the AAA, and then they have it in 13 stadiums right now for spring training. How do you feel about the new ABS system for baseball, for the overall system of it? Because Philly Island, they do get challenges too and everything.
Yep.
So how do you feel about it?
I think it's great. I mean, these umpires need to be held accountable too. Umpires, as we know, can make or break a baseball game because they're the only official that can literally control the game, period. Like if they call, you could throw 100 strikes, but if they see 50 of them as balls, they're balls. So I mean, it's that close. Mm-hmm. So these guys need to be held accountable, and I think it's great. The way the ABS system works, for those who don't know, each team gets 3 challenges. Every time that you're successful with a challenge, you get to keep that challenge. So you have 3.
Oh, they changed it to 2.
Oh, it's 2 now? Okay. So you get 2 challenges. That makes sense because you do still want to keep the flow of the game going. So that makes sense. Every team gets 2 challenges. You are allowed to challenge them at any balls or strikes, which before was a huge thing because, you weren't allowed to challenge balls or strikes. So they could just call whatever, and it didn't matter. Shout out Angel Hernandez. But he's no longer an umpire this year. He finally was forced out.
Round of applause, they got.
It's like, because he was bad.
One of the worst umps ever.
Yeah, but they finally forced him out. But yeah, you get 2 at strike. You get 2 challenges. If you win the challenge, you keep it. So I think it's great. I'll be honest. I think it's great.
And Philly are in about, they added it to the AAA last year, and 51% of challenges umpire calls were overturned last year in the AAA. And I repeat, 51% of umpires' calls that were challenged were overturned last year in AAA.
I think this is going to expose a lot of umpires. And I think this is why the conversation for the robo umpires, which we'll have for another day, but robo umpires are a real conversation that they're having. They're actually attempting to implement that in the spring training games this year. It's a very strong possibility that in about 5 years there will be only robo umpires.
It makes sense, and a lot of people heard challenges and they think NFL challenge takes forever. No, the average average challenge when they tried it in AAA took 17 seconds. When the team tried all 4, both teams tried both their 2. It only added an extra 2 minutes to the game.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's not going to be no long breaking the game, and pitch clock added, and everything that's been added to speed up the game has made baseball a more entertaining sport to watch on the TV now than what it used to be. Because I know I avoided watching it because it just took forever. It was a very slow process. Now with the pitch clock and everything out, it's just better.
It is. It's a better product. I mean, as a savant myself, I didn't care. I was watching it regardless. But for the casual fan, this makes sense. All of this makes sense. And I'm glad they're doing it. So, yeah, excited for the season to actually get underway. We'll have some more to talk about once that happens.
Now, I think it's time we move into basketball.
Yep.
First, I want to quickly touch on the fact that Unrivaled will be entering the playoff season in March. I think it's like close to the time March Madness starts, to be honest.
Ooh, that's gonna.
Yeah, they could have picked
picked a better time.
They could have picked a better time, but after everything you've seen go on this year, the 1-on-1s, the 3-on-3, what is it? Yeah,
the whole league is 3-on-3.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it?
I think it's
what's
great.
the takeaway?
I think there's some things that they can tweak, but overall, I think it's a great product. I don't know why they just don't do 5-on-5. To be honest with you,
because there's another league that is going to do 5-on-5. Athletes Unlimited.
You can't do 2 leagues that have 5-on-5.
I don't want to. I guess.
But that's beside the point.
Maybe not enough players.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I would say beside the point. But overall, I like the idea of it. I think it needs a little bit more marketing, I'll be honest.
Yes.
Because besides like you telling me that it was on, I had no idea.
They could use more commercials, more advertisement on social medias and other websites too. They just need to put themselves out there more.
Yeah. But I think it's a great product. I'm glad that the girls are actually. The nice thing with 3-on-3 is that you can actually like get some of your moves off. You don't have to worry about running as many sets or
You're
anything like that.
seeing these bags come out.
Exactly. You can actually get into your bag on this one, and so that I'm cool with it. I like it. I hope they keep doing it. I hope it's not one of those like flash in the pan things where they stop doing it. I hope it keeps going. Well, but I am excited to see what the playoffs look like.
I'm excited too, and as of right now, they are at least going to do it for next year because they're already marketing Paige Beckers and Falaje Johnson, who are signed under Unrivaled, to be in it next year.
Good. Like I said, I hope they keep doing it. I think it's a great outlet for them because a lot of the girls would go play overseas, and like they would get hurt, or you saw the whole thing that happened with Brittany Griner. Like you don't have to worry about that anymore. You can just play right here in the States.
And they went and built a nice little stadium of like I think 17,000 or 7,000, one of the two. They built a nice little small stadium in Florida so they can fill it out and have the atmosphere. And I think next year you're going to see it grow even more. Mm-hmm. And I hope they do add on. But like I agree with you 100%. They need to advertise it. Yes. Advertisement needs to be their biggest takeaway from this because they have the players. The competition was nice. I know I watched it a lot. I did watch a lot of the 1-on-1 games, and I am a fan of it. Even the rules that they had for the 1-on-1 rules, I would have liked it to be more of a king of the court style.
Yeah.
But they made up for it.
Yeah.
So all in all, hats off to them. I do love it. I hope they continue it like you said, and I hope we get more players. Like maybe, hopefully next year we can get Caitlin Clark out of it because can you imagine Caitlin, Paige, Falaje, Nacep,
especially if they're on the same team. That'd be crazy.
Bro, all the Brianna, that league would go crazy.
It would go crazy. Like I said, I hope, but I do also understand once your season is over, just wanting to take a break.
Yes.
I fully understand that too. I don't hold it against her. But it would be nice to see her out there though. I will say that. It would be cool to see her out there.
It would be. Excuse me there. Now, I want to get into this MVP talk for the NBA. That's the first part I want to start off with. And for the fans who are watching, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the MVP race for you guys. Let you guys see what's going on as we go ahead and talk about it here. Give me 1 second. Boom.
While he's doing that, we got to talk about the huge loss to the MVP race. Victor Wembanyama.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I was so excited for them coming in. I was like making that move to go get De'Aaron Fox. I was like, they're going to make a move. But as anybody who doesn't know yet, he got a blood clot in his shoulder, so he's done for the year. Similar injury to what Chris Bosh had years ago, for those who remember. Only Chris Bosh's was in his rib. So Hopefully he comes back. I think so. I was like, hopefully he comes back strong, gets taken care of what he needs to get taken care of, and go from there. But yeah, before we get into the MVP race, though, can we talk about? Do you remember what happened when Tim Duncan got traded with them?
Yeah, you reminded us, but you told us last pod. But go ahead and remind the people who did not watch it, because I know some people did miss out.
My bad. I forgot. So for those who didn't know, the Spurs acquired Tim Duncan because David Robinson got hurt the year before. They tanked, not on purpose, but they tanked, and they got the first round draft pick. They got a number 1 draft pick. That number 1 draft pick was Tim Duncan. Now, with Tim Duncan, then everyone knows the history with the Spurs and Tim Duncan. He ran off, won 5 championships, and the rest is history. So the Spurs have an opportunity to do the same thing now that Wemby is out. I don't know if they're going to tank. They're not going to tank on purpose. I know that. They're still going to try to make a push, but I think they have an opportunity to where if they don't finish the year as strongly as we thought they would, then they can go and get somebody like Cooper Flagg, or go get another piece that they can add to that team. And I think by doing that, that makes them that much of. I think that puts them back in contention to be a dynasty. So yeah, that's what I think could happen. I'll be excited to see it. I hope it does, because I do miss seeing the Spurs up atop. That was a dynasty, a well-run organization, and I'd like to see them back up there.
Actually, before we get into the MVP talk, I'm going to take that down since we're talking about the Spurs. Round of applause. Greg Popovich. Hats off. Deserves all the flowers. He will not be returning next year. He's already came out and said it. I understand he had some health issues this year.
There's nothing left for this man to prove. He is hands down top 3, and he's not 1 and 2. He's not 2 and 3. Actually, I take that back. Phil Jackson's still 1, but he's definitely number 2, in my opinion. Greg Pop, like I was just saying, the Spurs dynasty, Greg Popovich was at the helm of it the entire time. The longest tenured coach. My entire life, Greg Popovich has been the coach of the Spurs. That has never changed. He's always been the coach. So
he was the Spurs image for me.
Yeah, right. I was like, you saw Tim Duncan. After that, it was Greg Popovich. Those are the 2 people you associated with the Spurs. So shout out to him. Great career. Wonderful coach. I wish him all the best. Hopefully his health doesn't decline anymore. But yeah, big shout out to Greg Popovich. One of the best.
I'm so sad to see him go, because for me, he was, like I said, he was one of my favorite coaches, just because when the Spurs were at their prime, they were not flashy. There was no showboating. There was no egos. There was no extra ulterior motives.
Nope.
They were just fundamentally sound and getting it done.
Go back and look at the clips of when Manu, Parker, and Duncan were there. The ball movement was insane. And, they were able to fit. We only know who Matt Bonner is because of his time with the Spurs. Thiago Splitter.
Boris Diaw.
Right. I was like, the only reason we know who those guys are is because of that system. He built such a strong system that anybody could be put into it and fit. Danny Green's career was revitalized because of his time with the Spurs.
What's his name? Patty Mills?
Marco Bellinelli?
The list goes on and on and on. He was just one of those coaches that the Spurs are definitely they're gonna have to take time to replace him. They're not gonna. Their first or second coach is not gonna be nowhere near what not Phil Jackson. Now you got me thinking of Phil Jackson, but he is not gonna be what Greg Popovich was to that team.
No.
I hate to see him go, but hats off for him, because I think he got hired as a head coach in 1996. He got hired right after he got done as an assistant coach with, believe it or not, Golden State.
Oh yeah, he coached. He was under Don Nelson.
And it was 1993, 1994, he was an assistant coach for Golden State. Then he wasn't in the league at that time. Then in 1996, he got hired and took over for the Spurs when they went 17 and 47
in the first year. Yep.
And
that's when David Robinson was hurt.
Then after that, 56 and 26, 37, 13, which I think that was the lockout year or something like that.
Yeah, that was the lockout year.
We're NBA champions, and then they just go on winning after that. I don't need to read off the record.
I mean, they had a streak of, like 20 years where they made the playoffs every year?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane in the NBA. Insane. 20 years where you knew that the Spurs were going to be in the playoffs every single year. It wasn't even a question. Like, that's insane to me.
You know, and the coach of the year 3 times probably deserved it more than just those 3. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But 15 greatest coaches in NBA history. He was awarded that in 2021.
Should be top 10, but I know his award, so I get it. But he's definitely higher than 15.
You're not wrong. He definitely deserves all the flowers. He deserves to have.
Yep. First, go ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. Don't even waste time. I know we have to wait 5 years while he's retired. Don't even bother.
No,
just put him in right away.
Yep, he's one of the ones that gets to skip the line, put him in.
Yeah,
he
just put
deserved
him
it.
in.
He did
it's a
everything
formality.
he needed to do.
There's no need to wait the 5 years. He's put him in.
Now let's get into this MVP talk because it's interesting to me this year. There's a runaway candidate right now who I think deserves it, but there's a couple people to me that are showing themselves. And first off, you got the runaway candidate Shea, averaging 32.5 points, 5.1 rebounds, 6.1 assists per game. It's obvious he's number one. Team's number one, best team in the league, hands down. He deserves it.
I'm gonna throw somebody in the hat that I think should get, but I'm gonna let you finish first, and then I'll go over that.
How do you feel about Jokic being second? I mean, he's always up there in stats: 29 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists.
No, Jokic should definitely be up there. I have no problem with that at all.
Giannis at 3, Jason Tatum at 4, and then Karl Anthony Towns at 5.
Karl Anthony Towns at 5 is kind of. I mean, no, that's not crazy. Let me stop. That's not crazy. He's having a tremendous year over there. What's his stat line look like, though? Let me see. What's his stat line look like?
Right here.
24, 13, 3. That's not bad. I was like, he's not bad.
He is having a career highs.
Yeah.
In a lot of stats this year with New York. So I will say that.
Yeah, I was like, that's not bad. I like the list. Like I said, I am sad that Wemby got hurt because I think Wemby was making a real push to go get it. But yeah, no, the list is. I'm cool with it. Now, who I was about to throw in the hat.
Go ahead.
Let's show some love to my man, Donovan Mitchell. Let's throw him in there. His stats don't look great, I'll be honest. If you're looking at just the pure stats, he's averaging 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So, I mean, not crazy numbers.
He's 20th in the league in scoring right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And he's leading the number 1 team. They are 48-10. They've only lost 10 games to this point.
That is true. They are balling out.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's got help. Garland's doing his thing. Mobley's doing. Oh, they do got Mitchell on there. He's number 10.
Here you go, though.
Yeah, 48-10. Like I said, Mobley's doing his thing. Mobley's averaging 19 and 19 points, 9 rebounds, and Darius Garland's also hooping. They made a tremendous trade with DeAndre Hunter. Since that trade, they are undefeated, 6-0.
It was a good trade.
He is the defensive piece that they needed because now they have a perimeter defender. They already had 2 interior defenders. Mm-hmm. Now they have a perimeter, so now Donovan can back off and doesn't have to play defense on the best player anymore. So he can actually save his energy and go score. Same with Garland. Garland can focus more on playmaking and getting open for the 3. So it was a tremendous, tremendous trade. Cavs all the way, in my opinion. Cavs are going to win it. They're coming out the East. I do think it's going to be the Cavs versus the Thunder in the finals. Who wins that? I'm tossing it up. I don't know. I'm tossing it up. I'll be honest.
You want to know who I think if he just gets more of a voice because he's in every commercial. and he's leading the league. He's fourth in the league in scoring, and his team is seventh. But I think that's just because they just haven't started clicking. Anthony Edwards.
You said he needs more of a voice?
He talks his no. Hear me out. He talks shit. He don't get me wrong, but like I was watching this video and it did ring a bell. I forget which analyst was talking about it, but it was a former player talking about face of the league.
I think it was Kendrick. I think I know where you're going with this.
You know, and he said it can't be Shea, it can't be Jokic, it can't be all them. They were trying to hand it to Edwards and Jaw for a second because they hyped up Jaw until he got hurt.
Jaw got hurt and then got into that trouble.
Edwards had that crazy playoff run, and they were ready to, hand him the keys, let him.
And then he says something stupid too.
But then he just, step back from the light, and he's in every commercial. If you see, he's in like 4 or 5 different.
He's got Sprite commercials, his own shoe commercial. He's got all kinds.
You feel me? So they were trying to, if you just step up and become that focal point of your team, that guy, I think it's easy MVP talk for him next year.
Listen, I don't think they're ready for the YN that Anthony Edwards is to be the face of the league. Because did you see what he said to Obama?
No, what he said.
So they had a video of him, him and Cat, I think it was Carl Anthony Towns, when they were talking to Obama, and Obama just made the joke saying, oh, who's this guy? We don't know who this guy is.
Oh, yeah.
Just joking. Obviously, he knew who Anthony Edwards was. Obama's a big hoop fan. This dude said, man, y'all better miss me with all that. Chill out. Chill out. Don't talk to me like that. To saying that to the former president of the United States. This man is a YN, and I don't think that they're ready for it.
It's wild, and you're not wrong, Herb. That is why Cleveland is playing so well this year, is because the whole team's clicking.
Yeah, the whole team.
The whole team is clicking. But it is time for Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, to take over. You want to know who I feel bad for, because he would definitely be in the MVP talk more.
Who?
If his team wasn't just garbage.
Who?
Maxey.
Yes, agreed. Maxey is hooping.
He would be.
But his team is garbage.
He would easily be top 5, top 6 for me.
You see, speaking of that, you see Paul George said he's taking a step back from podcasting to focus.
I mean, it's about time. I'm sorry, Paul George. I love your podcast. It is fantastic. You're one of the podcasts that finally made me decide that I wanted to actually do this podcasting thing.
Yeah.
But I need you to...
Yeah, I was like, he needs to just take a step back and chill out on the podcast because he needs to get his team together. I was like, he's supposed to be a big point, and he hasn't showed up like he's supposed to. So I think it's the right call to take a step back. So
yeah, it's just time to step back. You got to step up. The team needs you, especially in Joel Embiid's absence. You're supposed to be one of the players that is supposed to help out Maxey, and you were doing nothing of the sorts.
No, nothing of the sorts.
So
I agree.
We need you to step up, but all in all, I do think Shea's just going to win the MVP race. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm not mad about it. I think it should go to Shea. I'm not mad at all. I was just saying I think Donovan Mitchell should get a little bit more love on it just because of what his team is doing. So I was like, yeah, he's definitely got to get a little bit more love. But now with that being done, talking about the MVP race, let's go ahead and move on over to the rookie race, which we got. Of course, this man has been hooping all year. He put on a little bit of a show.
I think it's a runaway favorite right now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is even close. I'll be 100% honest with you. That's Steven Castle over with the San Antonio Spurs. Like I said, adding to that young core that they have. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, Steven Castle, Victor Wembanyama. If they're able to add another piece in the draft, the team is unstoppable. Like I said, they're setting themselves up for another dynasty.
And don't get me wrong, Yevs Missy, he is balling out for the Pelicans. He is doing well. But I'm sorry, and so sorry, Jalen Wells. Your numbers are looking great, but Castle is more of an important piece to the team than what you guys are to your teams.
I mean, he's still averaging better numbers than Missy anyway.
He is, but like I said, you can't Right now, Castle is averaging great numbers, and his importance to the Spurs, easily right now since he's playing sixth man, easily sixth man of the year, rookie of the year, and sixth man of the year.
I can see that. I think there's still a few other people that maybe have the six-man race ahead of him, but I can see he's definitely in the race. I'm not going to say anything about that. He's definitely in the race. But, yeah, it's a runaway. I'll be honest. There's not much to even talk about with the other rookies.
No.
Overall, this is a very weak class. I'll be 100% honest with you. It's a very weak class.
That's true. It wasn't really that impressive. I can't wait for next year's class to see because they got Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey. Who's the other? Ron Harper Jr.
But we're talking about Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey, which I think this is crazy to already put this label on him because Cooper Flagg has crumbled a lot in the pressure. Mm-hmm. They're labeling them delayed Bird and Magic Johnson.
That's kind of, I think that's a little crazy. So that's a little crazy.
Yeah, it is to me, but hey.
I mean, I'll give Cooper Flagg, benefit of the doubt. He is only 17. So I'll give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but that's a little crazy to go all into that.
It is. Now, I want to focus on one team struggle because it makes no sense. The Knicks.
Yeah, they're struggling.
And when you look at the record, they're not really struggling. They're 37-20. But what I mean they're struggling is
they can't beat the top teams.
Bro, against 500 or above, they're only 11-14. And I really want to focus on the fact that, like you said, they have yet to beat the Celtics or the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's
this year. And you can't beat the top two teams. Yeah, it might change during the playoff time, but you got to figure it out now.
Well, that's why if you watch, no one's talking about them competing for the Eastern Conference. It's either can the Cavs beat Boston? That's all they're saying because New York's not even in the conversation. They can't beat New York or Cleveland or Boston in the regular season. There's no way that they're going to compete with them in a 7-game series. So, I mean, if you want to get up there and get into the conversation, you got to actually beat these teams, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
No, it makes no sense why they haven't been able to do it because
especially against Boston. I can see you struggling against Cleveland because with Mobley and Allen, they line up good against them, but Boston, they really don't. Outside of Porzingis, they don't have anybody down low.
No, and then you have Mikal Bridges who can play defense.
Right.
Jalen Brunson can get you points, so then
he can play defense too.
Yeah, no. So they have the weapons, and that's why I think they need to step up because there are teams which I don't know another team I want to focus on too, the Indiana Pacers. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they're always right there because to me, looking at the team, I don't get it because you never see Halliburton never turned into the player I thought he was going to be.
No, he's going to go down as a 1-2-time All-Star, and that's about it.
He did it, and then you got Pascal Siakam, who's getting close to his way out. Not maybe. I think he's 31, 32.
Yeah, he's
maybe.
only 30-something, so he's got time.
Then, go ahead. Who's next?
That's it. There ain't nobody else on that team. I guess you could throw Miles Turner in there, but that's about it.
Oh, they got a young point guard.
Benedict Mathurin.
Yes.
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin.
He is a good strong point for that team. But other than that, I don't know how they're fourth in the league right now.
Well, because they did also beat New York twice, so that's a big part of it.
Well, that's because Halliburton has that's probably the best games he plays at the whole year.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't see. I mean, we all know that team's going to be. They're going to be a first-round exit. They'll make it through because they're not going to be in the play-in. But I think the Magic can match up against them. To be honest, the Pistons, the way the Pistons are looking this season.
That was another team I wanted to talk about. The Pistons, right there.
Yeah, the Pistons.
They're a team that you cannot sleep on. They are young. They're another Thompson brother on that team that is balling out, that is starting to find his way.
Sir Thompson, yep.
And then Kate Cunningham is turning into the player we all thought he was going to be.
Finally, yep.
And he's scoring the ball, and his defense is phenomenal. He does it both ways. And I'm excited to see what the Pistons can do. I think you're starting to see the Pistons. I think they finally started to make the turnaround finally.
Yeah, finally. And J.B. Bickerstaff's a great coach. He was the Cavaliers coach last year. Was upset when he left, but then we got Kenny Atkinson, and the rest is history. So I'm over it. But J.B. Bickerstaff is a good coach. So I'm not surprised that he got them boys over there playing well. But, yeah, I think Detroit, Orlando, even, well, without Jimmy Butler, I don't know. But I was going to say Miami even matches up against Indiana. But I think they're just going to be a first, second round exit. They're not really making any noise or doing anything exciting.
All right. Talking about first and second round exits, let's just talk about these play-ins real quick. We'll play-in bracket. So right now in the East, we're looking at Orlando, Miami, the Hawks, and Bulls.
Okay.
Because I don't think Brooklyn's going to turn around. Even though I hate to say this, even with the addition of Ben Simmons, they did look. No, with getting rid of Ben Simmons.
They got rid of Ben Simmons.
And they looked a little better.
They do look a little better. I agree. But, no, I think it's going to stay right where it's at. I think Orlando, Miami, depends on if Philadelphia can make a run or not.
No, for me, it depends on Wiggins' play.
Yeah.
If Wiggins is going to continue picking up where he left off with Golden State, because he was finally becoming a player, finally getting back in rhythm and taking over and being able to be a prolific scorer.
Yeah.
So if he can pick up where he left off with Golden State, I think Miami could stay in that spot. I need Trae Young to be more aggressive because he has took the passive role this year, which, I mean, that's what his team needed, more assists. But I think right now they need Trae Young to be Trae Young and go ahead and give me them 30 points a game right now.
Facts. I agree. Yeah, Trae Young needs to turn up, but I think it's going to stay where it's at. Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago. I think Orlando will get through, and I think Atlanta will get through. I think those will be the two teams that squeak through in the playoff.
Orlando, to me, is a scary team because the Young and Paolo and the Wagner brothers are phenomenal.
Hooping.
And now let's go to the West real quick. You got Timberwolves, Golden State, Dallas, and Sacramento.
Well, Golden State, I don't think is going to be in the playoff.
No, I wanted to say that. I wanted to start off with that. Since the addition of Jimmy Butler, Golden State, I think they're 3-1 right now, maybe 4 or 5-1 now. Jimmy Butler has helped turn that team around. As you see, they're on a 4-game win streak.
Yep. Yeah, Golden State's going to move up. I think they're going to overtake the Clippers. Minnesota will stay put. I think Phoenix will actually overtake the Mavericks because they're riddled with injuries right now. So I think
if they get healthy, I like the Mavs. If not, it's over.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's what I got. I got the Clippers, Timberwolves, Suns, and the Kings in the play-in for that.
All right, I agree with that. Now, before we go ahead and get off here for the day, the Mavs and Lakers played after the Luka Doncic trade.
Excellent game. It was an excellent game. Everything and this makes me more excited for them to go to Dallas. I can't wait for them to go to Dallas.
This was great, and from both sides. Because what I'm liking right now is you lost Luka, but Kyrie Irving, I'm not sure how long we're gonna get it for. But right now he is on a tear. He gave them 35 that game. Klay Thompson gave them 22. That was really the biggest scores. Chrissy, you need to do better. I was just hyping you up, and then you give me 10.
Told you. Stop hyping him up.
But then the Lakers, you know what? I was iffy about it, but after seeing that game and looking at this stat line, was that Rui Hachimura?
Rui Hachimura, yeah.
15 points, LeBron 27, Luka 19. Oh, he had a triple-double. 15 rebounds, 12 assists.
Luka's getting comfortable now. It's a wrap.
Austin Reeves went for 20. You know what? The Lakers adding Luka at first, I was iffy, but
it's a wrap.
If AR-15 continues this run he's on, playing at this level with LeBron and Luka, and Jackson Hayes just steps up and be's a big man, because that's the one place they're lacking.
Well, they got Alex Len. Alex Len got signed just to do defensive big man stuff. He ain't gonna do no scoring.
The Lakers could make a run because Luka's starting to get in shape. He really made it his goal this year to get in shape.
Oh yeah, he heard this whole time being traded that he was fat, so of course he took it personal. But no, I think the Lakers are definitely gonna make a push. I can't believe the league allowed this. to let this man, a generational talent, play with another generational talent.
And since we didn't tell y'all, by the way, Lakers won 107-99 and went into overtime.
Yeah, it did. It was a good game. Like I said, and I'm very excited to see what it's going to be like when they go to Dallas. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
I cannot wait. Now, what I'm really excited for, it's about that time, bro.
March Madness. I know.
It's about that time. I can't wait to cover it.
Yeah, Selection Sunday is soon, which we'll be covering.
We will. We might even have to sit down and get together and watch it and talk about it live with you guys.
Yeah, we can do that.
Then I'm thinking we're gonna give you guys the final four games and the national championship game.
We'll be here talking about it.
We're gonna be here live watching it. We cannot show you guys the game live.
No.
But we will be sitting here commentating about it, talking about March Madness and how it went for the year and everything. So come in, feel free to join us. It will be on Facebook. So
we might go. We might look into going live on YouTube too.
It's a possibility because I know March Madness is.
Or maybe we could do Twitch too. Right? We'll go live somewhere. You'll see us. We might be live a few different places.
Because we can go live in multiple places. But I can't wait for March Madness. I think this year is going to be interesting on both sides because it's up for grabs. I don't see no for sure favorite.
No.
You have I see my 5 on both sides, but then you have your upsets that are bound to happen that I can't wait.
Yep.
March Madness is really just a great time.
Yeah, no, it's a great time. Everybody loves it. I can't wait. I'm excited.
And I can't wait. I'm excited for this baseball season to kick off. I'm actually
very excited for that.
I'm gonna try to dedicate my goal for you guys this year. For myself is I'm going to try to watch more baseball and get back into the baseball game because now that they have sped it up and made it a little bit quicker, I can actually sit down and watch it. I might even try to fulfill my dream and make my way to Fenway Park.
Good luck with that. I was like, good luck to you on that one.
Catch a little Guardians in Boston.
That'd be nice. That'd be fun. Fenway Park is always a stadium I've always wanted to go to. But
I always want to sit on the Green Monster, but I don't like heights at all.
No, I ain't sitting on the Green Monster either.
You ain't sitting on the Green Monster, bro?
Hell no.
All right, out of all the MLB stadiums, which one, it could be current or past, which one would you want to go to?
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field, you want to see what's that, the Ivy Wall?
Yep. Wrigley Field. I want to sit in the Ivy Wall and go there. That's what I want.
You know what, I can see that. That'd be my second one, obviously. But,
of course, Fenway, of course.
Fenway would be my number one, but Wrigley Field would definitely be number 2 for me.
Yeah, definitely want to go check out. There's so much history there. I want to go check out Wrigley.
Now, make sure you are liking and sharing the pod. We appreciate all the support.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
And I think that's all we got for you guys today.
Yes.
Remember,
stay tuned. Like I said, stay tuned to us on Spotify and Apple Pod. It'll be coming soon. But yeah, just keep telling your friends, keep sharing us, keep liking us. We appreciate all the support. Thank you all.
To fill you guys in, that we will be on YouTube, Apple Pod, Spotify, and Facebook. As of tomorrow, it will be on everything, so stay tuned. And remember, the stats don't lie. And we appreciate all the love and support we've been getting from you guys. And for many more pods to come.
Yep, appreciate y'all. Peace.